Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is the research skill, but the same chapter, sorry, the new chapter, that is the chapter number 9, that is into the classroom. So in the last class we have discussed about the chapter number 6, that is how to use the chapter number 6, or what are the various topics that we left with the chapter number 6, that is the putting it into the practice. So let's start with the previous class session, what we have covered in the last class, then move to today's topic, that is the chapter number 7 topic. So in the last class we have started with the chapter number 6 topic, that is the stage number 5, evaluation. That is how we can put the evaluation into the practice, how we can put the evaluation into the live example, that is the stage number 5, evaluations. This is independence, creativity and self-reliance are all facilitated when self-criticism and self-evaluation are the basics. So whatever the basic concept that is used, so they are using the basic concept, they are using the creativity, self-reliance, that are all facilitated when the self-criticism and the self-evaluation are the basic parts. This is given by the Carr Togers. And the evaluation stage plays a vital role in the development research skill. So whatever the research skill that is used, so they play an important role in the development of the research skill, and this stage is made of the two evaluation component. There are two evaluation component that is taken out. One is the ongoing component, one is the review component. So there are two component of the evaluation. One is the ongoing component, one is the review component. Ongoing means that is currently is happening on the while the activities currently happening, teachers and students evaluate the process and the product. That is the ongoing component. Review component means after completion of the assignment. So one is in between the assignment, when the activity is going on, the evaluation takes place, that is the ongoing component, and when the complete assignment is complete, then evaluation is taken place, that is known as the review components, right? Then we are talking about the evaluation methods. So these are the various evaluation methods that we have discussed in the last class. One is the observation, then general. Then these are the various evaluation techniques that we have discussed. So one is the observation, then general, that is a daily log, then there is a checklist, then student self-evaluation, then incidental record, then conferences or the interview with the students, then collecting material, questionnaires in the interview, then test or the quizzes. So these are the various evaluation techniques that is used in the evaluation method that we have discussed in the last class. So we have discussed in detail, that is what is the observation, how we can observe. So by observing means we can observe the student, or the teacher will observe the student. It's the responsibility of the teacher to observe the student in the learning process, in the process of learning, as well as the product. And evaluation or evaluative data may be obtained by observing and listening to student comments, questions and the expression. So observe and listen to the students comment, that what is the student comment, what are their questions, what are their expression. Then observing the group interaction, that is also observe the group interaction, how the student will behave in a group, that is observing the group interaction. Then listening to the group discussions, that is listen to the group discussion, whatever the group discuss, that is listening to the group discussions. Then observing the drama play and the role play, then observing the students use of time and the material, then observing the students while they participate in the in classroom activity. So whatever the classroom activity they are presented, so observing the classroom activity, that is observation. And observation is an ongoing evaluation technique or the tool that cannot be separated from the daily classroom activities. So observation is nothing but the daily, it is going on a daily basis, so it's an ongoing evaluation technique that cannot be separated from the daily classroom activity. So whatever the classroom activity that is going on the daily, that is the observation. So it's an ongoing evaluation tool that cannot be separated from the daily classroom activity. Therefore observation is a continuous process. So whatever the observation that is going on, so that is a continuous process. Next technique that is used, that is a general, that is a daily log that is available. The student records the activity of the social studies period and evaluate their record. That is a general, that is maintaining the record, maintaining the activities of the social science that is going on, and evaluate the on progress. Then next is collecting the material. That is also one of the part, that is collecting the material, that is we can collect the material for the evaluation purpose, if collecting the various technique, collecting the various material, collecting the data for the evaluation methods. So a collection of samples of work produced by the student can serve as a profile of the student's subsequential or sequential growth and the development. So whatever the material they are observing, whatever the group they are observing, they are dealing with the collecting the material that is produced by the student, that can serve as a profile of the student sequential growth and the development. And to be very useful, the material should be added or material should be updated. That means whatever the material that is going on, that must be updated. So the student or the material that is available must be updated in the sense they are available in the common format, they are available in the data format. Then next is a checklist that can also be used as various stages to evaluate the achievement of the objective. So we can check the achievement, whether the achievement has been set or target or not, by checking the checklist, that is whether this document is fulfilled. Yes, this document is fulfilled. This is one of the example of the group effectiveness appraisal form that is available. This is a research activity. The next evaluation is a peer evaluation, that is the oral presentation and the speech. So whatever we are doing the oral presentation, that is doing the peer evaluation. That means within the same group, the peer level, that is a peer evaluation. That is oral presentation and the speeches, that is evaluation forms such as this can be used initially as well as awareness exercise with the student, and when the student feel comfortable providing feedback to each other, a less well structured approach can be used. So whatever the approach that is used with the oral presentation and the speech, that is a peer evaluation. The next chapter is the chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. So whatever the activity that is doing in the classroom, that is the chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. This is the first question. Is this chapter useful to me? So most of the teacher will be able to extract ideas for implementing research from this chapter. That is, most of the teacher will gain the experience from this chapter, because this chapter is very interesting, that because everything is available within the classroom. So this chapter is related to from the classroom. Now what will I find in this chapter? So there are sample research unit that is developed and used by the Alberta teachers at all divisions and the research levels. That is chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. So students come to understand their own search process through guided use of information from elementary schools to the higher education. That is, they are going from the elementary school to the higher education, and student came to understand the research procedures or the search process. That is, searching can be done in the search process through guided use of the information from the elementary school to the higher education school. And they learn that thinking, reflecting, and mulling are an important activity of learning from the information. So whatever the information that we learn from the or whatever the activity that we learn from the information, that is also one of the part of the thinking, reflecting, and mulling. That is a part of the learning from information. That uncertainty is not only okay, it is the beginning of all the learning. So whatever the activity they are going on, that is the beginning of the learning. They take the initiative to find out and the responsibility for telling others. So there is the initiative that is carried out for the students to carry out their activity, for researching their own activity, and these are the basic skills for the information age. That is, whatever the skill that is required for the information age. So how do we guide the student? That is a one code. That is, how do we guide the student? What are the various activities that is going on to guide the student? That is a steps to guide the student. So how do we move from the general principles of chapter number 3 and the curriculum based framework of chapter number 5 to the Monday's morning classroom? The following sample assignment gives the tried and the true research activities in different shapes, sizes, and the division level entries. Some examples use advanced level for some research stages and the introductory level for other stages. So some examples are used at the advanced level, some examples are used for the introductory level for the different stages. And some projects concentrate on developing students' independence in the use of certain skills while providing more teacher direction in other skills area. So whatever the skill area, whatever the concentration that is provided, that is used in the various skills, that is used in the certain skills, that is used for providing the teacher direction in all the skill areas. And all of the vignettes submitted by the Alberta teachers could not be used. So samples were corrected on the basis of the division and the subject. So whatever the data that is available, that is sampled by the data, that is sampled by the group, that is sampled by the activity that is carried out by the Alberta teachers. Now this is a sample number 1, that is a division 1. So that is from the classroom. So one of the teacher that is available, that is known as the Sheila Spence. The name of the teacher is Sheila Spence, that have a 20 years of teaching experience. She is a part-time programmer at the gifted program teacher, part-time resource room teacher, and part-time teacher librarian at the Pines University. So there is a Pines University, that is the Pines Community Center, that is available, and she is the teacher that is available at part-time from the program teacher, uh, part-time resource program teacher, then part-time teacher librarian at the Pines University School. Now, what are the various phases, what are the various stages that is carried out by the Sheila in her career? First is planning. This activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher, librarian, and the teacher. That is the day one. Classroom teacher reads several animal stories and factual books with the students, and teachers led the student in brainstorming list of greetings, animals, and the sound. So whatever the sound, whatever the greeting, whatever the animal that is taken out, so that is taken out from the animal sounds. Children develop the sentence pattern. So this is the planning part, that is classroom activities must be representative as a PPT, so the student will gain more and more experience in the normal words or the oral words. Then day 2 is the students were introduced to the concept of habitat and student painting the pictures of animal in their natural habitat. Then day number 3, that is each pair of students selected an animal from a list. Students were asked to prepare the following project to be evaluated. That is, students were asked, that is, to prepare the following list that is available, that is used with this available form. Then poem based on the form A in the children's zoo on the harmonium that is available. Then birth announcement complete with the picture of the baby and the mother. So this is the planning part that is carried out. This is a subtopic, that is who is in the zoo. Then subject, that is a language, arts, science. Then the grade, that is a 1 and the 1.5. The number of students are the 24 by 18. Then time is 3 weeks. What is the objective? The main objective will the student will locate basic information about an animal by examining pictures and using the keywords. So whatever the keywords, whatever the basic information they are getting from the animal, that is getting the pictures and using the keywords. Then organize the information in appropriate category. That means first of all search the information, that is locate, then categorize that information, or we can say organize that information in appropriate categories, and report the information through pictures and sentence writing. So whatever the report writing, whatever the sentence writing that is available, that is going through the pictures and the sentence writing. The next is level, that is the introductory level, and the research stages are the all whatever the stage that is available. So emphasis on the information retrieval. The stages are the available at all the phases, but the more focus is on the information retrieval. So let's start with the chapter number 2, that is the information retrieval. That is the stage number 2. Day number 4, that is each pair of students selected an animal from a suggested list. So this is going on with the different days. Now it's the responsibility of two student to select an animal from a suggested list, and student with the teacher librarian or the teacher librarian guidance brainstorm and categorize questions about the animal. So whatever the questions that is available, that is used with the animals. Then day number 5 is a field trip to the zoo. That is, a trip will be going to the zoo that provides an opportunity for the children to view the animals to be studied. So what are the various types of animal? What is the difference between the animals? How the camel look like? So whatever the student find interesting, that is going to the zoo. That is the day number 5. That is a field trip to the zoo. That is the day number 5. So that is available for the zoo. That is a day number 5, that is a field trip to the zoo that provides an opportunity for the children to view the animal to be studied. During the tour, students map the journey around the zoo, that is they are mapping the journey around the zoo. Then day number 6, after returning from the zoo, students brainstorm questions to help them find out about one particular animal. That is day number 6. So whatever they learned from the zoo, so after returning from the zoo, the student brainstorm the question. That is, student frame the questions to help them find out what type of, or find out any particular animal that they like in the zoo. That is the day number 6 activity. Then during the 7 or 8, the combination of the 7 and the 8 day, students study the picture, scheme, and the read text. looked for the keywords and took the brief notes. So student will studied about the pictures, skimmed and the read text, then looked for the keywords that is available and also took the brief notes. The major the major portion of the research was completed in one class. So whatever the activity that they are going on till the day 7 or the 8, so major portion is available or major portion is available completed in one class. Students recalled information from the zoo. Videos and the film strips were used at the beginning of each session. So whatever the activity that they are doing, so they are doing the activity very good. That is the major portion of the research was completed in the one class, and student also recalled the information from the zoo. Videos and the film strip will be used or as the beginning of this one. Now this is done with the stage number 2, that is the information retrieval. The next stage in the 3, that is the information processing. That is a comment on using the research. So I believe resource-based learning increases student independence and expand the student interest in and ability to find out the things for themselves. So I believe that whenever we are using the research or the resource-based learning, that increases the student independence. That is, the student will be independent whenever we are using the resource-based learning. That increases the student independence and expands the student interest and ability to find out the things for themselves. So they are getting the information about themselves, how they are getting out, and they begin to make the interdisciplinary connections and believe it or not, some even read more books than before. So that is the comments on using the research. So whatever the comment that they are using, so they are returning the or data entry that is available and that is used to find out the things that is used, and they begin to make the interdisciplinary connections and believe it or not, some even read more books than the before. 3, that is information processing. So let's start with the day number 9. So students translated information from the pictures to the verbal to written form and recorded the keywords only. So student translated the information from the pictures to the verbal notes. So now in the day number 9, the student translates. So whatever the information they are taking out, so they translate the information from pictures. So whatever the pictures that are given, so they translate the information from the pictures to the verbal or the written form and recorded the keywords only. So they are translated the information from the pictures to the oral information, or you can say the written information, and usually make the keywords only. That is, they are not providing the full-fledged theory, but they are providing only the information, that is the relevant information that is in the written form. Then the day number 10, that student take the notes were written as a short report divided into section on an appearance, habitat and the food. Now whatever the report that they are giving in the day number 5, that is divided into multiple parts, that is divided as a short report, that is divided into sections on the appearance, habitat and the food. So the 3 parts in which it is divided, that is a habitat, that is appearance, that is a food. And grade 1 students were given sentence pattern to follow. Grade 2 students develop their own sentence structure from notes. That is the day number 10. Then the day number 11 is the next day after the 10th day, that is the teacher and the parent read 3 baby animal books to small groups. So they are teacher and the parents were trying to develop the interest in the small group of people. So there are 3 people or the 3 baby animals books to the small number of people that is available, and student record the information on the number, size and the special name of the young of the chosen animal. So whatever the animal they are chosen, so they are providing the guidance for the young animal that is carried out. So they are providing the number, size and the special name of the young of the chosen animal. So whatever the chosen animal, they are giving the young name, or they are giving the name of the animal that is young among the chosen animal. Then day number 12, with the teacher's guidance, students brainstorm and use their notes and search books for the 5 words to describe an animal. So they use the 5 words to describe a young animal or any animal that is available, whether that is a younger animal, whether they are normal animal that is used. So with the use of the teacher guidance, the student brainstormed and they use their notes and the search books for the 5 to the for 5 words to describe an animal. And each child then wrote a 5 word poem. That is, every child has a responsibility to write a 5 words poem that is used and illustrate it with the picture of the animal in its habitat. So whatever they are illustrated, that is illustrated with the picture of the animal in its habitat. That is the day number 12. So the day 10, 11, 12, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12 are the parts of the stage number 3, that is the information processing. So the process and information will be processed by getting the information from the zoo and commenting on that information in the various parts. Now next stage is the stage number 4, that is information sharing. That is the stage number 4. So all works including notes, poems and the birth announcements was made into a booklet that was read to one of the teachers. So every information, every work that includes the notes, that includes a poem and that includes the birth certificate are made into the booklet that was read to one of the teachers. So one of the teacher has read that information in the bulletin form that is available with the teachers, and the booklets were then displayed on the bulletin board and at the district office. So the next stage is the information sharing. So after the information processing, now it's the time to share the information. And this paragraph is available for the sharing the information. So I developed an interest in using the resources from outside the classroom. So resources are also collected from outside the classroom as a resource were very limited in the first school, in my first schools. So this is the experience of the, we can say, the narrator who says that it is the experience of the Sheila, and that is they are developing the interest, they are developing the interest in the using the resources from the outside the classroom also, that is beyond their classroom, because the facilities or the resources are not fully available in my first schools. What was essential has become natural. The biggest surprise to me was that very young children has research or can research effectively. So they are very young children that can work very well, and they can research effectively in a manner that they are separated the, or they are supported the well defined structure. So next stage is information process or sharing. So all the works including the notes, poem and the birth announcement was made into the booklet that was read to one of the teachers. So everything that is available, that is used into the, or that is made into the booklet that was read to one of the teachers, and the booklet was then displayed on the bulletin board. So whatever the information that is shared, that is available, or whatever the information that is going to share, that is available in only one booklet, and that booklet will be displayed on the bulletin board and at the district office. So that is available at the bulletin board for the information sharing, and also at the district office. And students share their work first with the teacher, then with the teacher librarian. So students first share their work, or first with the teacher, then with the teacher librarian, and then a small group of fellow students. So whatever the fellow student that they are getting, that is available with the teacher, then with the teacher librarian, and then with a small group of fellow students. That is the stage number 4, that is the information sharing. The next stage is the stage number 5, that is the evaluation. That is how we are evaluating the things, that is the stage number 5. So emphasis was placed on raising the students' self-esteem and focus on the positive result. That is, the more focus is on the place, or more focus is on the raising the students' self-esteem. That is, raising the students' experience, raising the students' self-esteem. That is more focus, and the focus on the positive results. Evaluation was ongoing procedure that is occurring at each stage to ensure the students received adequate information or reinforcement and the guidance. So that is a very important point. So the last stage, that is the stage number 5, that is the evaluation, that is more focus or the more emphasis on the raising the student self-esteem and focus on the positive results. And evaluation was an ongoing procedure that is carrying out, that is occurring at each stage to ensure students received adequate reinforcement and the guidance. So whatever the guidance, whatever the reinforcement that is given, that is used to ensure the student receives adequate reinforcement and the guidance. That is stage number 5, that is the evaluation. So that is the one of the sample that is finished. Now next sample, that is the division, that is from the classroom of Judy Mans, who had experience of 14 years of teaching experience. So Sheila has a 20 years of experience. Now the Judy Mans has a 14 years of experience, and she is a teacher librarian at the Mount View School, Reddy, and she teaches grade 4 language arts. Right. So one of the person that is available that we have discussed right now, that is a Sheila, that have a part-time teacher at the Pines University, Red Deer. In the same way, she is a teacher in the school, permanent teacher in a school in a Mount View school, Red Deer, and teaches a language subject that is a grade 4 language arts. Now, what is the main topic? That is the fairy and the folk tale. This is one of the poem that is taken out. That is the fairy and the folk tale, and subject is a language art oblique art. Then grade, what is the grade? That is a 5, and the number of students that is enrolled for this one is a 27. So there are total number of 27 students that is available with this one. Then time, that is approximately 6 to the 8 weeks. Then time that is available, that is the 6 to the 8 weeks that is going on. And what is the main objective of this one? The student will become familiar with a variety of fairy tales. So student will familiar what is a fairy tale, how the fairy tale will appears, and what is the main poem behind the fairy tales. Then next objective is to able to identify the common elements, compare the different versions. So also able to identify the common element, that is what is the common element that is used in the various poems. Then next is the compare the different versions. So how to compare that there are different versions that is available, so how to compare them, that is also the task that is available in this one. Then with the traditional tales, then with the new variations, then with the original tales. That means compare the various versions with the various tales, with the new versions, with the new variation, with the original tales. Then level, what is the level in this one? That is the introductory level. So objective is, these are the various objectives, and the level that is available is the introductory level. And what are the various research stages that is used? So this is all about the research stage, but the main focus is on the information processing, that is how to process the information. Now first stage, that is the planning, that is for the 1 week. So this activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher librarian and the teacher. That is the stage number 1, that is the planning, that is only for the 1 week. The teacher and the teacher librarian team taught throughout the unit, and students were introduced to the fairy tales through a discussion of the prior knowledge and a new information on the historical background of the folk literature. The teacher and the teacher librarian team taught throughout the unit. So they are taught you throughout the unit that is available, and the students were introduced to the fairy tales through a discussion of the prior knowledge. So whatever the prior knowledge that is available with the students, so they are getting the knowledge, they are getting the introduction levels, and a few new information to the historical background of the folk literature. So whatever the folk literature they are getting, so they are getting the historical background of the folk literature in the planning phase, so that their student will able to get the exact information in the fairy tales. Then the teacher and the teacher librarian each read a pre-selected diary table and discuss, initiated or discuss, identify its element with a group of the student. That means the teacher and the teacher librarian each read a pre-selected diary. In the pre-selected diary that is available of fairy tale, and discuss or identified the what are the various element that is used with a group of the students, and the group was then switch, and the process was repeated to establish the common element found in the fairy tale. And the group will be formed, and the group after making the group, the groups were then switched, and the process was repeated to establish the common element found in the fairy tale. Then students were to select several fairy folk tales, draft a rough bibliography, create a booklet that provides a synopsis of the each tale and the common elements found in the fairy tale. So students will be able to select various folk or various fairy folk tales that is available, that drafts a rough bibliographic notes and creates a booklet that serves the synonyms or that serves a synopsis of the each tale. So whatever the synopsis that is available, that is discussed with the fairy tales, and the common element that is found in the fairy tale. So what are the common element that is found in the fairy tale, that is also available, that is also a part of the stage number 5 or stage number 1, that is the planning. The next stage is the information retrieval, that is for the 2 weeks. The teacher librarian set aside the school's fairy tale books, film strips, and the videotapes, and borrowed additional resources from other schools. That is, they are retrieving the information from the other schools so that the new technology are available. And the public library was then or also used by the student, and the students were encouraged to find and read the fairy folk tales, and at times they work in the groups and took turn reading, while at other times they read the individual and share the information throughout the tale, and the student received the bonus point for outside the reading. So this is one of the point, that is how they receive the information. Either they get information from the bulletin board, either they get information from the other school, that the teachers, or the student will also get the information with the fairy tales that is used by the student, that is also using the public library that is available nearby the place. That is the information retrieval. Then stage number 3 is the information processing, that is for the 1 to 2 weeks. Students were guided through activities, example rewriting the tale with a different ending, writing the tale in a modern setting using the fairy tales that had been chosen. That is, the student were guided through the various activities. That is, what are the various activities to process the information, and what are the various activities for writing the tale in a modern setting using the fairy tale that they had chosen. And working in the group of 3 or 2 4, student identifying the common elements in several folk tales. And student then begin work on a booklet containing a synopsis of each tale and the author, title, illustrator, and the country of the origin. So they work in a group of the 3 to 4 that is available. They are identifying as a common elements in the several folk tales. And with the teacher librarian guidance, students studied 8 versions of the Cinderella and identifies and compare the basic elements of the folk tale. The next is the stage number 4, that is information sharing. That is how the information will be shared. So once a week on a celebration day, students share that week experience through the class discussion. That is with the help of the class discussion, students can share their views, can share their information with the week experience, and the students were evaluated for the participation and group work at this stage. Now it's the responsibility of the student that were evaluated at the participation, that is how to do the participation and how to do the group work at this stage. Then stage number 5, that is the evaluation. So students provided the feedback for the unit for the teachers. This is one of the important 5, that is the evaluation. So students provide the feedback for the teachers, so that if there is any error on the part of the teacher, so that will be rectified by the teacher only. That provided a feedback on the unit for the teachers and made the written assignments for the improvement for the next year class. That means there is no commitment orally, but every commitment, everything is doing written, so that we have a proof, that is yeah, he or she he said that yes, there should be feedback that is given to it, and they should improve their qualities, they should improve their suggestions. So for example, in a school, if the argument comes, so if the student or the teacher will come, so the student will agree that they will not argue again. So that is a part of the evaluation, that is the stage number 5. Now, next from the classroom of the Irene Vashil, who has 13 years of experience, that is the next division. So first of all, let's take a break. Then after the break, this topic will be discussed. That is the from the classroom of Hinani Vaishlak. Let's take a break right now. Division is a sample number 3, that is a division number 2. So that is from the classroom of Irene Vashik, that have a 13 years experience, that is a 6-year experience as a curriculum coordinator and currently working as assistant principal. So this is a or she has a 13 years of teaching experience, and she has a 6 years experience as a curriculum coordinator and currently working as assistant principal in a school, and she teaches the social science 5/6, French 456, language arts, and the physical education at our Lady of Victories Elementary School, that is Edmonton Catholic Schools. Now, what is the main topic? That is creating your own country. That is create your own country. That is the main topic. And what is the main subject? That is social studies. This is the grade scale. Number of students that is available is 28. Then the duration that is available is 2 to the 1/2. That is the duration is available in the 2 1/2 week. Then that is a 2.5 week. Then what is the main objective? To have a student assimilate all the knowledge from the government unit. That is what is the main objective that is used to have a student that is gather the information to gain the knowledge from the government unit in the creation of their country. Then what is the level? That is the introductory and the advanced, with emphasis on the advanced. That is the level that is available. And what is the research stage that is available? That is available on all the stages. So, because the school has no teacher librarian, research room students were combined with a regular 6 or regular grade 6 social studies class. so that the team building or the team teaching situations was established. So that the teaching situation was established, that is the main note. Now stage number 1 is the planning, that is for the 3 days. Students use the expressway series and the library to gain the research skills needed to do the project. They also studied about the democratic procedure during the different unit, that is different levels of the government, that is the stage number 1. And the students met in the pre-arranged group to discuss the information of their country. The student met in the pre-arranged group, so they met in the pre-arranged group that is available to discuss the formation of their countries, and each group was given as a set of the questions which focus on the typical problems as a country or a country faces. So every group have a different set of questions that is used on various phases that have a different phases of the problems. The problems include natural disasters, racial and the economic problems, and the political unrest and the cultural concern. And before beginning the next day, the teacher should give each group feedback on their plan for getting their country. That is, they give the plan out, they give the taking care of, that is, they give the plan, the activities that is used for the expressway activity, that is work as a Irene Skywood. Then next stage, that is the stage number 2, that is the information retrieval, that is for the 3 days. And groups uses the library resources, that is encyclopedia, atlases and the books that is used for social science. So group uses the library resources, that is atlas is one of the main source for the social science to gather the information on their country's problem. Teachers check the rough bibliographic from each group at the end of the each library period. So it's the responsibility of the teacher to check a rough bibliography from each group, that is at the end of the each library period, that is from the teacher's point of view. The next is, or that is stage number 2, that is information retrieval. Then stage number 3 is the information processing, that is for the 2 days. The students made point from notes, from text, graphics, charts, diagram that is used, and students then made inferences, that is they have made the inferences, assumptions, and use the creativity to create their own public or own country profile. So that is used for making the own country profile. So student make the inferences, student make the assumptions, and use the creativity to create their own designing to create their own company profile. And profile was checked or were checked by the teacher for demography, geography, resources, climate, problems, and responses to the student. So whatever the activity they are carrying out for the activity for the different climates, for the different problems and responses to the question. That is stage number 3, that is information processing. So they gather the information from the atlas, they process the information in the form of the graphics, that is they represent the information, or she represent the information in the form of the graphics, images, or the diagrams. Then information sharing, that is how the information will be shared from this one, that is the information sharing. So using the student produce maps, flags, logos, charts on laws and punishment, a list of the possible natural resources. So whatever the natural resources that is available, that is used as a tool, for the information sharing. And a paragraph on developing and improving their country. Each group presented its country to the class and led the class in a discussion. So whatever the class that is they are using, they discuss that class for the information sharing, and the class reacted to the group method. So whatever the method they are using, they react to the group method of governing its country and solving the country's problem. Then teacher evaluates the presentation on both the oral and the written work. So it's the responsibility of the teacher to evaluate the problem, to evaluate the concepts, that is on the both the oral and the written work. Then stage number 5 is the evaluation. So students provided input to the teachers on the most successful and the least successful aspect of the assignment. So they provide the feedback that which is the most recent output, what is the most recent useful aspect of the assignment, and specific area of the concern, that is such as the time allotted, resources available, and method